negative 7, 8 over 7. Negative times negative is positive. So we got 177 divided by 35. Again, this is an easy situation because 35 is a multiple of 7. So in that case, the least common denominator is 35, so we need a 5 here. So this will be negative 40 plus 177, which will be 137 divided by 35. Now let's take the integers out. So when we divide 137 by 35, we get 3 integers, and 35 times 3 is 105. So it's going to be 32. So 3 and 32 over 35. And this is it. Any questions on this problem? Let's work on negative 5 plus 4 and 7/9. Remember, negative 5 is basically negative 5 over 1. Put the integers back in and perform this operation. There is more than one correct way to get the result. So negative 5 over 1 plus 36 plus 7. 36 plus 7 is 43. Divided by 9. Easy situation. There is only one denominator actually. And only one numerator needs an adjustment. So this will be negative 45 plus 43. The numerator is negative 2. Please remember, a negative over a positive is negative, so that's negative 2 over 9. Any questions? I'd like to talk about a concept that I like to call the of concept. If I tell you, I know you have $100 in your pocket, and if I tell you that I have 10% of what you have, I want to discuss this conjunction, this of. What does it mean? So you have $100, and I only have 10% of what you have. What operation do you think of represents?
Division.
As I said, it's confusing. I completely agree. So of is only multiplication. Only multiplication. Multiplication. So 10% of this means $10. It's 0.1 of 100. So please understand, whenever you see of, think in terms of multiplication. Multiply. Yes, it's confusing, I agree. That's why I wanted to talk about it. So now, here is a situation. So we have between A and B, sorry, between A and B, we have a distance of 10 1/4 miles. They're asking us to find 2/3 of the distance between A and B. They want us to find 2/3. So let's say I want to drive from Baltimore to Miami. And I know that I can only drive on one day 2/3, maximum 2/3 of the distance, and then the rest tomorrow. So today I will drive 2/3, and tomorrow I will drive the rest. What is the rest? If I drive today 2/3, what will be the rest till I accomplish everything? When I say the rest, what do I mean? What is the rest?
The leftover distance.
You mean 1/3. That's what I meant. If I travel today 2/3, if I drive today 2/3 of the distance, tomorrow I will have to drive the rest, which is 1/3. Do we understand this concept of 2/3 and 1/3? That will be the rest. Is that okay? Yes?
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm asked to find what is the distance. So this is the 2/3 today. And this is tomorrow. So I know the distance, and I want to determine how long I have to drive today. How do I determine that? What will I have to write? This is a very important concept. How will I calculate what I have to drive today? I can only drive 2/3 of the entire distance.
You subtract.
So of means multiplication. So then I'll have 2/3 of what? 2/3 of what? What do I have to write here? What am I multiplying 2/3 by?
10 1/4.
Exactly. The entire distance, of course. Excellent. Yes. So I calculate 2/3 of, which is multiplication, of 10 1/4. I cannot multiply. Don't even try. The integers have to be put back in before we multiply. 2/3 times 41/4. We never multiply before we simplify, if possible. So I'll simplify by 2. So then the numerator is 41 and the denominator is 6. Yes, I have to take the integers out. How many integers we have? And that is what I decided to drive today. It's a silly example with the driving because it's 10 miles and 1/4. It's not 2,000 miles or 1,500 or so. So we have 41/6. So we have 6 times 6 is 36, and the remainder is 5. So this is miles. So in my silly example, I would have to drive today 6 5/6. The rest till 10 1/4 tomorrow. Any questions on of? Please remember of. A very important concept. Not easy to remember. It's not an easy situation. Okay, here's another example. We have a distance of 34.5 inches. And we know two of these pieces. We do not know x. But we know the first piece is 8 1/4, and the last piece is 3 7/8. We are asked to find this distance. What will you write and how do we find it? Sorry. How do we write this? You would say that the entire distance of 34.5 equals what? Equals what? So this entire distance must equal this distance. So, what do I write?
We would just add all the.
Exactly. Thank you very much. 8 1/4 plus x plus 3 7/8. That's my starting point. Excellent. Excellent. At this point, I will put the integers back in and then eliminate the denominator, finding the least common denominator. So let's put the integers back in. Can anyone tell us the first one? What is the improper fraction that represents 34 1/4?
$65.02.
I think it's 69. So 68 plus 1. Good. Is it clear?
Yes.
Perfect. 8 times 4, 32, plus 1, 33. Plus x, 24, plus 7, 31. Now, let's find the least common denominator as we did some time ago and multiply everything by that least common denominator and eliminate fractions in one blink. That's what we want. We want to clear the fractions ASAP. Good. So, can anyone look at 2, 4, if you want, at 1 as well, who cares, and 8, and say, oh, the least common denominator is
8.
Indeed, absolutely. So I multiply by 8 over 1. I multiply by 8 over 1. I multiply by 8, and I multiply by 8 over 1. Indeed. I want to clear fractions. Remove all fractions quickly. So when I simplify here by 2, I have 4 times 69. 4 times 69. And I got 276. I'll simplify by 4, and I got 66. 8x, I'll simplify by 8, and I get 31. Look how quickly we got rid of the problem. Problem is gone. meaning fractions. So now, but don't forget, you must multiply everything. You cannot say, oh, I'm not going to multiply x because I only need 2 fractions. No, you cannot skip any term. When we multiply by 8, we multiply absolutely everything by 8. The first fraction, the second fraction, x as well, and the last fraction, everything by 8. Good. First thing I'm going to do, of course, I will clean it up on the right-hand side, and I have 97 plus 8x. Now I will move the 97 to the other side, changing its sign. And all I have to do is perform 276 minus 97. That's all I need. And I get 179. Obviously, this is factored. I cannot move 8. I can only divide by 8. So then x equals 179 over 8. And I have to take the integers out, so I divide by 8, 179, and I get 22 integers. I multiply 22 by 8 and subtract the answer from 179, which is 3/8 inches. Any questions? Any questions? Anybody, any questions?
No.
Okay. We accomplished a lot today. Let me see how far we got. We still have some examples to work on before we start the last part of Module 2, which is decimal numbers. Let me just go back to the okay, and just show you where we are. Okay. So the entire module 1 should have been completed. Again, my apologies, I did not get the chance, a minute to check. So we know now how to, we know fundamental of fractions and how to simplify them. We know how to divide fractions. We know how to add and subtract fractions. We know how to add and subtract and multiply and divide mixed numbers. Okay. We are going to practice a little bit more of order of operations with fractions. So this will not be finished. And then we'll move on to decimal numbers. So everything including 2.4 has to be completed between now and Tuesday. So everything including, so all mod 1, and in mod 2, 2.1 through 2.4. And we already worked on 2.5, but if you don't want to start 2.5, I understand, but the time is very short between next Tuesday and the final and the test. Okay, so we do have a few more minutes left. Okay, so let's work on just one more. -9 minus 3 squared over, so this is from 2.5, over 8 minus 7, and in parentheses -6. Let's take 1 minute. This will be the last problem of the day. So we have a little bit left before we finish module 2 and review. Next Thursday has to be review for the test. So this is the order of operations with fractions. Anyone would like to start? Anyone for the numerator? Anyone would like to tell us what to do in the numerator? What is the first operation?
Take care of the exponents.
Yes. So we have -9, and then what do I write?
-9.
Indeed, thank you very much. Remember, there are no parentheses here. You're not allowed to apply the power to the negative sign in front. The power is applied only to 3, and then the answer is multiplied by -1. Awesome, thank you. Now, 8 is 8. We need to perform this. What do we get? The sign first.
-42.
Careful, we multiply a negative by a negative. So positive. Excellent. The numerator is now -18. Do not attempt to simplify terms over 50. First, the sign. Negative of a positive is negative. Now I can simplify by 2. So I simplify the top by 2, and the answer is 9. I simplify the denominator by 2, and the answer is 25. So indeed, -9 over 25.